Assalamu alaikum. I am Sumbul Zehra, lecturer in physics at Sir Syed Government Girls College. In our previous lecture, we have discussed what is transistor and its construction. Now today we will discuss what is transistor action. But before this, I would like to thank our honorable principal, Professor Khalda Parveen, for her continuous support and encouragement. Now today we will study what is transistor action. To see the action in the transistor, we have made this circuit. Now this depletion layer is between emitter and base is forward bias. Now what happens in forward bias? The depletion layer shrinks, and once we increase the voltage sufficient means more than cutoff voltage, then this will demolish. There will be no depletion layer and the current flows very easily from positive to negative. Now in base to collector there is reverse bias and the depletion layer is wider, and there is only reverse current which is very small. Now this layer is wider, so the resistance in this layer is increased. In the reverse bias, the resistance increased and the current stops. Current by majority charge carriers stops, but reverse current will keep flowing. This is the action which takes place in a transistor. The resistor in forward bias region is transferred in reverse bias region. Now what action has taken place? The answer is there is a transfer of resistance, so that's why we give it a name transistor. When biasing is done, there is a transfer of resistance. This is transistor action. The resistance in forward bias is decreased, so current is increased, and in reverse current is decreased because resistance is increased. In forward bias, a PN junction behaves like a conductor because the depletion layer is omitted and the current starts flowing. Now, this transistor action we have to study, but we will study in the reference of common emitter transistor because that is how it is used for making amplifiers. So what is common emitter configuration? We have to see it. So before that, when we study the action by transistor, we will see it in terms of changes in voltage and changes in current. What do we call it? The graph is called characteristics graph. In transistor, there are two circuits, two sources of voltages, so we will make two graphs. One is forward and one is reverse. We also call this area with base and emitter as input and base and collector region as output. So we will see input characteristics and the output characteristics. This will help in understanding the working of the transistor more clearly. We have connected this NPN transistor in common emitter mode. We have rotated in such a way that emitter is downward. Now emitter and base is forward bias, collector is N-type and emitter is also N-type, and collector to emitter junction is reverse bias. Now we want to measure the potential between base and emitter, which is VBE. Battery gives a potential difference which is VBB. The current which is going through the base into the transistor is IB. The current which is coming outward from the emitter is IE, and the current which is going in the collector is IC. Now apply Kirchhoff law. So IE equals to IB plus IC. What we have to study here is if we want to change the potential VBE, what is the change in current IB? That is base current. That gives us changes in the potential VBE, and that gives changes in current IB. If we make this study, this is known as forward characteristics of the transistor, and the graph between VBE and IB is known as transistor input characteristics. Now VCE, voltage across collector to emitter, and current IC, this is known as reverse characteristics of the transistor, and graph between voltage VCE and current is IC. So first, forward characteristics are known as input characteristics and reverse characteristics are known as output characteristics. So IB is affected by concentration of positive charge and negative charges here. At the same time, in the reverse circuit, there is a reverse current, means this current is not made by majority charge carriers. When we increase VCE, number of charges increases, means minority charges increase and is affecting the IB. So we cannot study the relation between VBE and IB. And if IB is affected by VCC, then we cannot study their relationship. So what we can do when we are studying the variation between the two quantities, all other quantities which may affect should be kept constant. So which is the other quantity which may affect it is VCE. So it should be kept constant. If we change VBE, note IB, check that VCE is not changed. So when we are sure it is not affecting VBE, now graph between VBE and IB as VCE is kept constant. It says that before cutoff voltage there is no current. After cutoff voltage there is current. Resistance in forward biasing is few kilo ohms to few hundred kilo ohms. This is the dynamic resistance or input resistance. Now for output circuit, we change VCE and note changes in output current IC. For this, if we take IB equals to 0, there is no IC. Collector current starts when there is certain IB, but it should be kept constant because if we change IB, it will affect IC. Now change VCE and note IC, and at certain VCE, IC becomes constant, which is known as saturation current. If we change IB, then IC increases, but we are keeping it constant. Now graph between VCE and IC when IB is kept constant is given, which shows by changing IB, saturation current changes. This is the graph of output characteristics. This will help us to study the phenomena of transistor amplification, but before this we will study the different stages of a transistor in our next lecture. Right. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.